Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FTB podcast. I'm your host, Chris Ngulik, alongside my co-host, Dom Savino. This is an emergency pod. So this is not an episode. Usually we do episodes every Monday. And so this is kind of a reaction to what happened today. Today is Wednesday, July 2nd. We had just posted our second episode yesterday. And a couple of reels were up also today. I put them up this morning with, of course, Dom as the invited collaborator on Instagram. So, big news today. The Knicks are planning to hire Mike Brown. Now, me personally, I'm fine with it. I think it's a good hire. I got a couple of town friends in my chat that don't like it. And Dom, your reaction? Who?
Who doesn't like it?
Who? Good question. Yeah. My friend Matt and my friend Billy.
Billy. Come on, Billy.
Yeah, Billy.
Wow. Surprise.
Billy.
All right.
He don't like it.
All right, Bill.
He does not like it. I don't know. Listen, I'm fine with it. I think it's a good hire. I think he's going to really reshape the team. Listen, the man has experience, and he obviously has a good track record. Two-time NBA Coach of the Year, 2009 with LeBron in Cleveland. 2023 with Sacramento, but Dom's going to get into that a little bit about what transpired there as recent as less than a year ago. He, also has 4 rings. Obviously, they're all as assistant coaches. So I guess that's one thing. But he did make the finals in 2007 when LeBron was with him in Cleveland. Some say LeBron carried that whole team, and that's the reason why Mike Brown went to the finals. I mean, take it as you wish, however you want to see it. But he did go there. 4-time NBA champion, 2003 as an assistant coach with the San Antonio Spurs. 2017 and 18 when KD went to the Warriors, he was actually an associate head coach with them. And 2022 also with the Warriors. And then he went over to Sacramento. Now, a couple of things that me and Dom have been reading about Mike Brown is, and Dom, brace yourself for this one. It's a miracle.
What's that?
He actually makes he makes his team practice. He actually makes, I know it's crazy. He makes his team work hard in practice.
Talking to me?
Folks, we hadn't seen it.
You talking to me?
In a while. And now Mike Brown comes, they're going to be practicing a decent amount. It's unbelievable.
I just had to throw
They're
my
actually
cup.
going to be practicing in practice.
I just had to throw my cup. That's how shocked I am.
Crazy. Crazy to think. But Billy and Matt don't like it. So, Dom, give your take on the, remember, they are going to hire, they haven't officially fully hired him, but they're in the intention, and they're going to hire. So, Dom, your thoughts?
I'm just so caught up on that they practice. Wow. Okay. Mike Brown. It was a little weird experience that they had with Sacramento. He was a good coach. He won the Coach of the Year, like you said, with the Kings. And then just this past year, they went on a bad losing streak, and then they had a heartbreaking loss to the Pistons. They lost by 1 on a De'Aaron Fox 3-point foul, which the player made, and then it was a 4-point play. Then Mike Brown publicly criticized Fox, and then shortly after that, he gets fired. People were thinking that Fox... he was the one that insisted that he get fired and everything because of the public call out. But then he had to talk to Brown multiple times saying that this is nothing to do with you. Like, I appreciate the hard coaching. And ultimately he was shocked. He was shocked that he got fired. And during the extension talks earlier in the year, probably months before that, they were like back and forth, the front office of Mike Brown with a number. Then they finally get it done. But during that time, Fox said that there was players in the Sacramento Kings locker room who wanted him gone by the summertime. And he didn't say that. He didn't say names or anything. He said he wasn't going to say who.
Of course not.
But then after the trade, he requested a trade. After the firing, I'm sorry. After the firing, Fox requested a trade. It wasn't because of Mike Brown or anything. He basically said, this is my 8th season with the team, and then this is going to be my 5th head coach. So once Mike Brown got fired, he's like, all right, like it's time for me to get out of here.
Hmm.
It's not like that I'm going to play for another coach. He said he's going to play for another team. I mean, it's understandable. I mean, if you're supposed to be the star of the team and you just keep getting coach after coach after coach, you're not really getting a consistent like playing strategy or style or anything. So I really can't
Yeah.
blame him for asking to be traded.
No.
And I mean, look at the
No,
team now. I
definitely
mean,
not.
they're basically the Chicago Kings with DeRozan and Levine. Like,
Yeah.
it obviously didn't work in
Yeah.
Chicago. They think it's going to work in Sacramento. Like, that don't make no
Yeah.
sense.
You know, the interesting thing is, and Dom, maybe you had already addressed it. Did you address his Coach of the Year award?
Yeah.
Did you say that? You did. Okay. I apologize. I was too busy looking at something about, Mike Brown on my phone. Yeah, folks, again, so just to reiterate, let's not forget, this man won Coach of the Year the year before. The Kings finished 9th in the Western Conference. They were in the play-in, but they didn't really go far. The thing is that when a coach generally wins Coach of the Year and then they get a contract extension that following summer, that came in July of last year. I mean, usually you let the guy play out the first year of the contract. I mean, usually.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Thibodeau signed his long extension, but Thibodeau's deal was going to be up soon. So that's just what it is. Right? Tom Thibodeau wants to get another job somewhere. He told Taj Gibson he wants to get another job somewhere. He will get one. I can tell you that for sure. But usually you let a coach at least coach the whole first year of the contract. Sacramento Kings said, no, not going to happen. They didn't want De'Aaron Fox going anywhere. They said if that's the case, then we're just going to have to let this guy go. We're going to have to part ways. And so because of that, I guess the clock was ticking. So I honestly think Mike Brown, he kind of got put in a tough situation. I think it is very much unfair. I don't know how you see it, Dom, but I think it's unfair that a coach doesn't even get to coach through at least the first year of a 3-year extension. But that's one hell of a way to go by the front office. And De'Aaron Fox, I'm sure he was happy to get on out of there to get traded because he even said, hey, I don't think they have my best intentions. I don't think they have full blown respect for me.
Well, I'm not going to say it's not fair. The man's still getting paid millions of dollars, whether he's coaching or not.
Sure.
So
yes.
Good for him. Good for him. He's still going to get paid, by the way, from the Kings, and he's going to get paid more from the Knicks. So.
I know. I get that. You're right on that part.
I also think that, they started off the season slow. They were like 13-18, and then they had like a 6-game losing streak, something like that.
Well, they
the beginning of the season.
13-18. Yeah, go ahead. You could say whatever you want to say.
They played 31 games, like not even halfway through the season yet. I don't know. That just doesn't seem right. I mean, I don't know who these players were that wanted them out. Maybe it was big names. Maybe maybe
it could have been Sabonis. Who knows? I don't know if it was him or
like DeRozan or something.
Who knows? I don't know.
But
it could have been somebody.
But like I've been seeing these videos of like Mike Brown at practice. He's like hollering at the players, and I'm sorry, we need that. The Knicks need that.
There was a video that came out that he was just hollering at his players, saying, "Hey, I'm here to win."
Yeah, we need it.
You're not here to win. Get out.
We need it.
And honestly, and listen, Thibodeau, I am sure all players knew, and I'm sure he himself came to the Knicks not just to redo or recalibrate the organization because man, were they in a funk. Of course, you got Leon Rose got hired March 3rd, 2020, just before COVID, literally a week before COVID.
Right.
And then he started, saying, hey, We got to start making some moves in the front office first. Some people got to go. Some people can stay. Whatever moves he made, and then of course he hired Thibodeau. And Tom Thibodeau came in, and he did a great job restructuring the ball club on the roster. He wanted to win too, but the issues of not really practicing and doing scrimmages and not really having set plays for certain situations in the game. I mean, how in the freaking world are you going to keep your job? So with the Knicks bringing in Mike Brown, it's the pedigree, it's the culture. He doesn't he doesn't take any flack, from his players. He'll hear them out, but I'm sure he's going to say, "Hey, this is what's going on. This is how I run things." And he's got the resume. He's got 4 rings. Granted, none of them are as a head coach per se, but he's still on the staff. He's still helping out. I mean, associate head coach has a pretty big role. I mean, Johnny Bryant. I mean, look, every time the Knicks were going on some sort of losing skid, they were like, "Oh well, Johnny Bryant's gone," and they would put it on Johnny Bryant and say, "Well, when Johnny Bryant was there, they were figuring things out. They were doing a good job." So, having Mike Brown, I think it's a great acquisition. Listen, everyone's going to have, I saw some people say it's Thibodeau 2.0.
No, that would have been Mike Malone.
I don't even know how that's possible to say after we just said at the beginning of this emergency pod that Mike Brown does practice. Just practices. So already right there at the beginning, it's not Thibodeau 2.0.
Yep.
So I don't know.
If it were to be
I don't know
a Thibodeau 2.0, we would have hired Mike Brown. I mean, Mike Brown. Wow. Michael Malone.
Mike Malone.
Michael Malone.
Yes, that's even what my uncle had said to me. That's what a few people have said to me. Even a couple of my brother's friends who follow the Knicks closely. They said Mike Malone, don't want it. Said don't want it. He also runs his players to the ground, and he doesn't utilize his bench.
He doesn't develop players either.
Does not. And Mike Brown is known to develop players and to, use his bench. Granted, maybe people have some retort by saying, "Oh, well, when he was in Cleveland and he was coaching LeBron, who did LeBron have for a supporting cast? Mo Williams?
Varejao.
I mean, Mo Williams and Anderson Varejao and Ilgauskas were really like the only guys that they really had. Now you're going to say, well, that's kind of the same thing with Thibodeau and the Knicks. Not entirely.
No.
They had Tyler. I wanted Tyler Kolek to play so bad. Okay, the last episode we just did 2 days ago that just got posted yesterday literally said we should have Ariel Hukporti playing more. There are guys that we wanted to see play more. And then obviously you had Campaign, Miles McBride, Mitchell Robinson, who used to be a starting center, but now with Cat here and Mitch always having injuries, kind of forced him to fall back to the bench role. But I think Mike Brown's going to be a great pickup. I think he's going to be a great head coach for the Knicks. I think he's going to steer them in the right direction. I like it. I was fine with either him or Taylor Jenkins. So
the name Campaign
that's
just pisses me off.
Who?
Just the name Campaign.
Just Campaign? Well, yeah, I mean, I'd be shocked if he's back. Which really brings us to
back.
Yeah, I don't yeah. I mean,
back.
with that ugly shot now. Which brings us back really now, which to what we talked about, these last 2 episodes about, structuring and strengthening the bench, which they've done so far. They picked up Jordan Clarkson. They picked up Yabusele, who, and honestly, I should probably know who this man's first name is. I've been only saying his last name for the past, day, for the past 24 hours. I gotta see. I gotta Gershon Yabusele. I know he's French. I know that. Here we go again, Dom. Another Frenchman.
Another French guy.
I'm not saying they're not good, but it's just crazy how we're just bringing in the whole country of France into the Knicks organization.
May as well bring back Frank at this point.
Yeah, but Dom, you can touch. I'm gonna let you touch on Jordan Clarkson a bit. I know you're a fan of him. Mike Breen really just. I mean, he just really went off on this guy. I mean, I don't know if Mike Breen is in love with this acquisition of Jordan Clarkson, because I remember the game on New Year's Day it was Knicks Jazz. And Mike Breen's like, man,
Just
does
heaving.
Jordan Clarkson not pass the ball?
He's just
He goes,
heaving.
Jordan Clarkson just shoots.
Yeah.
What did you say?
No, as he said, he's like, we're just he's just heaving the ball. He's
Just heaving, yes. Just heaving the ball. Heaving it. I mean, it's crazy. But Mike Breen's not a huge fan. But Gershon Yabusele is somebody who me and Dom wanted to possibly get as a trade at the trade deadline in February. I watched him shoot. He can shoot the three. He can. I believe he's a solid defender. And that was a guy that we wanted to get in February. But the only problem was, with what we were going to give up and how the contracts were going to be structured, you really weren't getting enough, for what you were possibly going to have to give away because of his value at that time. And he was playing so well. And he had some good performances against the Knicks last year.
Before I talk about Jordan Clarkson, I just want to say that I'm just like reading the scouting report of Mike Brown, and two things that really stand out to me. Well, obviously, like we want like a good relationship, like with players and coaches, which he does have, and he's played with some legends from Warriors and Spurs organizations, and under two great head coaches, and Greg Popovich and Steve Kerr. So he obviously knows what he's doing, and he knows how to build relationships, or else they wouldn't have won all these championships. That's number one. But when it comes to defense, he's physical. He's a physical defensive coach, and they don't foul a lot. Karl Anthony Towns can learn a few things about that. He could definitely learn a few things. 100%.
Cat, this is, you know what? That's a very good point. Very good point. Cat, yeah.
How many times would he just not move and just like reach in? Or like he's already beat and then just like try and like get the ball from behind him. Like that's how like we probably lost like a game or two because of him. Just off of his foolishness.
Well, if that's the case, then Josh Hart can learn a thing or two.
And
as
Josh
well.
Hart. Josh Hart too.
I mean,
he complains
the fouls
about he complains about every call.
Of course. But the fouls he picked up in the playoffs.
Yeah, they were just absurd.
Obviously, regular season, it's an 82-game season. You're gonna have games where you're making silly fouls, but the playoffs, I mean, he picked up ridiculous fouls. Just a little too hands-on. And then what about the game against the Bulls in the regular season back in November, fouling Kobe White?
Yeah,
that costed them a game.
That was ridiculous.
It's insane. He touched his back. What the heck are you doing?
And then
don't touch his back. Just let him shoot it. You're already near him. It's already contested. He's flailing like crazy and trying to draw a foul. If he makes it, well, it was a good shot. If he doesn't, you win the game.
Exactly. So like that was defense. And offense, with the Sacramento Kings, he implemented a high-powered offense with hallmarks like pace, spacing, and ball reversals, even testing a flow offense in the preseason to adjust to different defensive schemes. Wow. Did you hear the S word that I just said?
Yes, I did.
Spacing.
Loud and clear. Spacing. Huge. Which, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. We thought that was going to be a big thing picked up when they got Cat, because he's supposed to space the floor with him shooting threes as a big man.
In the playoffs, he don't like to. He's afraid. He's afraid to shoot threes in the playoffs.
I don't know. We were hoping, honestly, what we were all hoping was, let's have Mitchell Robinson at the hoop, and let's have Cat be on the outside, so you have a great bruising offensive rebounder, and if he gets it, he kicks it out to Cat, or kicks it, frankly, out to anybody, and you have a shot for three. And Cat is a guy where, hey, listen, you want to kick out to somebody else? Cat could then move in and help Mitch and try to rebound on the offensive glass as well. But as Dom just said, we didn't see much spacing, especially against the Pacers.
Oh, no. There was spacing. There was definitely spacing. After we were down 2-0 in the East Conference Finals. Yeah, that's that.
So you're saying it's too late. Got it.
That's the perfect time to do it, right? The perfect time.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. No, it's that's a valid point. Yeah,
Tibbs,
no, Thibodeau was a little late.
I think it's time,
He was a little late on things. It's
A
easy
little
to
late.
say,
A little late.
for sure. So now, you know, I mean, again, I do want you to talk a little bit about Jordan Clarkson, but the Mike Brown pickup, it's going to be very important for this season. You know, you're talking about a Knicks team. They hadn't had a, you know, a long-standing head coach, you know, for this amount of time. Thibodeau was there for, you know, a good part of 5 years. And so, you know, how long is Mike Brown going to be here for? You know, we got to see what the contract is going to be. I don't think they came out with anything regarding, you know, how many years. Listen, folks, by the way, I'm sure some may know, some you know, some may know, some may not, but they don't express the amount of money that coaches make per year. They will maybe give you an estimate and maybe round it off and say it's in this kind of range. But years, we should know how many years. I don't think that's come out yet.
No.
Okay. That's interesting. Spencer Dinwiddie to the Charlotte Hornets.
1 year
Okay.
deal.
1 year deal. I mean, you got to get somebody because everywhere you look, LaMelo Ball's hurt. So
Yeah.
he's got ankle problems. So he's got that's actually good right there.
That's that.
But so far, Dom, I don't know if you see anything. I personally don't
No,
see.
there's nothing yet.
Okay.
No, there's no numbers.
All right. Not even for years, right?
No, nothing.
No. Okay. Well, that'll come out maybe. I mean, if it doesn't come out tomorrow, then it's not gonna. I mean, maybe it'll come out over the weekend. You know, 4th of July is now in 2 days, so I'll be curious if they finalize anything, even years wise, on the 4th of July. That'd be a little surprising, but this is sports. Sports goes on all year round. It doesn't stop for anybody. So we'll see. But yeah, I just think with Gershon, with Mike Brown now at the helm, Guerschon Yabusele picked up, fantastic pickup for the bench, and now Dom Jordan Clarkson as well. Jordan Clarkson came actually before Guerschon, but you know, how do you feel about the Jordan Clarkson pickup? I know you were kind of a fan about it.
I don't think anyone could be mad about this. Everyone knows who Jordan Clarkson is, and everyone knows the reason why he goes to a team. He has a certain objective and purpose for that team, just to get a bucket. He averaged
Right.
16 last year. Someone averaging 16 off the bench, like that's something we needed last year.
For sure, for sure,
Really,
we had
that,
it.
It's really all that needs to be said. I mean,
Yeah,
there's not really a
yeah,
whole lot. Like,
right.
you know, he's
Yeah,
mostly an offensive guy. Like, he's not really great at defense, but you know, he's there for offense. So there's not really.
We had a guy to get points off the bench before OG, and that was IQ, Emmanuel Quigley. But yeah, I mean, once we made the move, which obviously well worth it, right?
Mhm.
OG's an animal. He's a beast. But yeah, we haven't had anybody like that. 16 points off the bench last year.
So he averaged last year 16 points, 3.4 rebounds, 3 assists.
Wow.
I mean, the field goal percentage isn't the best. I mean, it's like 44%, but
Well, go ask Mike Breen.
yeah.
He knows. Mike Breen, yeah, he just as you had, he's just heaving it. He's just
Yeah.
heaving it up there, as you said already. Yeah, yeah. So since IQ was traded, since he was gone, you know, this whole time, yeah, they haven't really had. You know, when they traded again in the 2023-24 season, February 2024, when they traded for Alec Burks or even Bojan Bogdanovic, they were hoping. Bojan was averaging at that time 20 points a game. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't like, you know, it was a fluke.
No.
You know, some of his performances before February. No, he was doing it consistently. So they thought they would have something like that. But that's huge. I mean, to have a guy like that, what is his field goal percentage? What was it last year for Jordan Clarkson?
It was 43.6%.
All right. I mean, it's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
Could be better.
Obviously, could be better.
Not terrible.
But,
Not terrible.
you know, obviously, I'm sure there'll be times during the season, like, or plays where we're going to be like, yo, what are you doing? But
Right.
we need him.
Yeah, Gershon. I'm looking at Gershon Yabusele. So he's 6'8", power forward. His stats last year, if this thing could just refresh for me. Love when things freeze on me. It's great. 70 games played, so he's missed a few games. That's right. He did have an injury for a little bit. 27 minutes, 11 points, 5 rebounds, more like 5.5 rebounds, a little over 5.5, and 2 assists. So that was last year for Philly. But yeah, this past February, me and Dom were on the Gershon Yabusele train because you know he was really producing, but again, as we said, his value was too high. It was just too much, and the Sixers were not going to do it with at that time with Joel Embiid, who just I mean I don't even know where that man's going to be career wise. I mean, they had a statistic that Carmelo Anthony since he retired has played more games than Joel Embiid, which is just outrageous. Yeah, it was a right knee injury for Yabusele last year, so that's why he missed 12 games. So I think still it's going to be a great pickup. The bench is really coming into its own. I think it's great. Dom, do you see any moves happening in the horizon?
We can get like one more guy or two
Okay.
more, or possibly two more. Actually, no, probably more than one guy now,
I would say
but
one. The
probably
reason
one.
is because now they're only on the vet minimum deals.
Yeah,
They don't have with now Jordan Clarkson and now Yabusele taking 2 years, 12 million. They really can only give now vet minimum contracts. So the funny thing is, before I even read that, either today or late yesterday, I think I even said to you on Monday when we were doing the episode, really the only one more guy you could even if you had the money, the only guy really you could possibly get left to fill up the roster is a guy who is going to not cost you a ton and who's a veteran and who could just bring that that veteran presence. A little more though than PJ Tucker, because PJ Tucker did play a bit. He did make a few shots, but somebody who does a little bit more than that.
hmm
People threw out there Chris Paul. Don't think that's happening. But yeah, there could be one more guy. I agree with you, and it would have to be on a vet minimum contract.
absolutely. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who that would be though.
I don't either.
I don't know.
Right now, as we speak,
I don't
not
know.
right now.
I don't know.
It may honestly have to be a TJ Warren, maybe fill in, which I wouldn't be opposed
I
to.
won't be opposed to either.
TJ Warren, folks, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if people know his age. Every time I say it, people probably think, oh, he's probably like between the age of 22 to 27. No, man, he's over 30. He's got some age on him. He's played in the league for a bit. Yeah, he's 31. He's going to be 32 this September. He has played for the Phoenix Suns. He was a first round pick in 2014, coming out of NC State. The Phoenix Suns picked him up. 2014 to 2019, he was with the Suns. 2019 to 2022, he was with the Pacers. 2022-23, he was with the Nets. Then back to the Suns in 2023. 2024, last year, Minnesota Timberwolves. And then, of course, this year, Westchester Knicks, who, we thought was going to get the call up when that gate opened at the end of February going to March 1st. But that didn't happen. So instead, they picked up PJ Tucker as the one veteran pickup for the rest of the season. But DJ Warren's a possibility that could just slide in and fill that last spot. Um, just to add that one more pickup. But we'll see. I'll be surprised if there's anybody out there that does, frankly, even a little bit more than PJ Tucker. I feel like the only person would be TJ Warren. If you could find somebody else on a vet minimum contract, that would be great. Um, but yeah, I mean, it is shaping up. I could tell you already, the bench is already looking better with Jordan Clarkson and Yabusele getting acquired.
Now we finally have an identity too with Mike Brown. We know what he
Yes.
brings to the table now. We know that how he's gonna treat his players and how off the court they're gonna be. Practice, the word that we haven't heard in 3 years. Crazy.
It's unbelievable that we actually have to like say that. I mean, I just don't understand how that happens. Like, how do we have to say, "Oh, it's so refreshing. We got a coach that practices their players, that actually makes their players practice."
That's
I mean, I
actually
didn't even say
ridiculous.
it right the first time. It's so shocking to me, but it's just quite unbelievable.
Chris and
I don't
I,
know. It's just
that we would literally either watch the game like together in person or on FaceTime, and every game we'd be like, "There's no way this team practices," and like we're like somewhat joking, somewhat not. It's like, like when you're joking, like but you mean it type thing. Yeah, like that,
yes,
like that.
yes,
And then the fact that it came out that they actually don't practice, that's like it's just like a stab
yeah.
to the chest.
I know. Yeah, there was one guy I was just looking at who's a possible free agent. There was actually one guy that I was actually kind of hoping that would be, you know, that could be a possibility, and that was Gary Trent Jr.
No, he re-signed.
But yeah, he's unfortunately re-signed. But that honestly could have been something, but forget about that now. Yeah, hopefully they could pick up one more guy, just to fill it out on a vet minimum if possible. My town friends right now are texting me. Supposedly the Mets are still looking like garbage, so that's great. So yeah, a great pickup. I think Mike Brown is going to be fantastic. I think he's really going to structure his players and the roster once it's all done, when the season comes. So um, you know, that's really it. Um, unless you have anything else to say, Dom, about Mike Brown or Gershon Yabusele or Jordan Clarkson, or what you could possibly expect going forward for this summer in free agency.
I've been a fan of Yabusele since he dunked on LeBron in the Olympics.
Okay.
That's all I got to say.
I mean, yeah, I think a lot of us have. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When you told me that, I was like, wow, that's something. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Might have to get a
I was
jersey.
like,
I don't
oh
know.
Lord.
Might have to get a Yabusele jersey. Possibly.
Oh, jeez, that is too
I'll let you
funny.
guys know
I mean,
if I do
I,
get
I
one.
don't. Is that going to be available? I mean, it's a 2-year contract.
I
That's
don't
what's
care.
tough about that.
I don't
I know
care.
you just get it anyway.
I don't care.
You don't give a damn.
If
You're
y'all
like,
can tell, I don't like LeBron. Just saying.
oh my god, that is too funny. That is too funny.
Sorry for all the bronze sexuals out there. I don't like that man.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, listen, Billy loves him. My friend Andrew likes him too.
This guy Billy's
They
pissing
like
me off
LeBron.
today.
What are you gonna do, man? Everyone's got everyone's got their own kind.
Billy, I
Everyone's got
expect more from you,
their.
man. I expect more from you. Just saying.
I couldn't believe when we started the show, you were like, Billy. Well, what's his problem?
I was shocked. I was
Oh my
surprised that it
god.
came from Billy.
Hey, listen. Hey,
Sorry, he's having a bad
everyone's
day
got
today.
their own, point of view. Everyone's got their own liking to things. So
He's just having a
it
bad
is what it is. Well, anyway, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you to everyone for tuning into the emergency pod of the FTV podcast on either YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Be sure to like this episode and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss any of our shows. Knicks are planning and on the verge of hiring Mike Brown as their new head coach. Big news, big day. Me and Dom love it. Great stuff. See you folks next Monday. Peace.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.